We're live on YouTube. Did that Israel
Yeah, it's in here.
and you feel
Is it back okay?
editorially it's fair?
Like any? Oh yeah.
I think Eats is reading it.
90% of it, but
Does it look okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kevin, I'll look right now. Jewish students leaders painted a mural featuring.
Yes,
positive
she needs a
messages
hand.
on turning a negative situations.
Because she has weather and then there's a reader right after.
Since they cut the.
Y'all not switch it or no?
What do you mean?
There is a reader right up.
Yeah, there's a reader.
So it's like, I think.
That's what I was trying to say.
Jasmine, you'll reopen B block.
Okay.
And Jasmine will reopen B block.
Is it better?
Toss. Ita, you'll be there just without a mic. You give your mic during first commercial. For y'all, I will move up the sustainability package. I will move it around. It will be reflected in the rundown, but long story short, there will be a package coming out of weather that
And also-
Jasmine will toss to, and during that package, y'all switch the mics, but it's a short package.
If you just want to do so, you can also just do it.
Yeah.
There too. 1 minute, 40 seconds. Wait, Logan. Make sure someone's on break.
And then this is like for later, but since they got rid of this, we're supposed to like do like crosstalk about Madonna, but it just like has it just like if there's nothing to talk about, you can just go straight toss the break or whatever.
Yeah, we can. We'll just let it slide. Like
Yeah.
I guess once we're there,
Just chat.
we'll chat.
Okay. Yeah. So that's
1 minute.
And 15.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm like
no, you're good.
all over the place.
Y'all got this.
Can you see my phone? You still can't?
Could y'all do a countdown? One and two. 15, 14, 13.
Coming up on Good Morning Longhorns, war in Israel continues following the Hamas terrorist attack, what you need to know, and how students are grappling and feeling the effects on the 40 acres. Plus, how University President Jay Hartzell is responding.
The Austin City Limits Festival wrapped up this weekend, and TSTV News was there. We'll bring you some of our conversations with artists and a look inside the massive music festival.
Plus, your Texas Longhorns return to the field this weekend, how they plan to rally after a crushing loss at the Cotton Bowl.
College students' hectic lives, and sustainability might not be top of mind, but UT is doing the work to keep our campus beautiful. Find out how. All this and more right now on Good Morning Longhorns.
Good morning, Longhorns. For Wednesday, October 18th, I'm Itza Martinez.
And I'm Jasmine Palacios. Thanks for joining us this Wednesday morning.
Well, how have you been doing this week, Jasmine?
I've been doing so good since the cold front came in. It's the perfect breeze for me, and yeah, perfect for the holiday season too. It's getting me excited.
No, absolutely. I feel like we're all finally getting used to this cool temperatures, so that's really exciting. Well, let's get into this morning's top stories. About 12 hours ago, President Joe Biden arrived in Tel Aviv after stating that his presence was critical to show other democratic nations how the U.S. was reacting to what is unfolding in the Middle East. Biden's trip comes after an initial plan to fly into Jordan, but was rerouted after the deadly explosion at the Al-Ahli Baptist Hospital in Gaza City. Israel has given the U.S. the information that currently stands in hopes of reaching a conclusion of who is responsible for the bombing. The Palestinian government has pinned the blame on Israel with little evidence, and Israel has claimed that this is a result of a failed rocket launch by Palestinian Islamic Jihad. In a meeting with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, President Biden has stated that from what he has been told and observed, that, quote, it appears as though it was done by the other team, end quote.
As for the conflict closer to home, last Monday, Texas Hill, one of 3 Jewish students' live centers here at UT, was vandalized. Following the attack, Jewish students painted a mural featuring positive messages, hearts, and Longhorns over what was initially written, turning a negative situation into one of strength. Additionally, at Shabbat services on Friday, Mayor Kirk Watson joined UT students in solidarity and support of Austin's Jewish community as a whole. Last Thursday, 3 men in Welch Hall began verbally agitating members of the Palestinian Solidarity Committee. Following the event, PSC's released a statement on Instagram calling for the university to acknowledge the incident and prevent another one from happening. Yesterday evening, UTJ Hartzell sent an email to all students condemning the attacks from Hamas and expressed his sadness about the Israel, Jewish, and Palestinian lives lost. It's Free Speech Week, an opportunity to celebrate freedom of speech, the press, and the many other forms of self-expression. There is an event today in CMA 2.306 from noon to 1:15. There will be a final event tomorrow in the evening in DMC 5.1214 to 5:30. The university states the events offer students a chance to reflect on school and nation's core values.
A frightening scene broke out at the Texas State Fair on Saturday as gunfire broke out. Attendees were forced to evacuate the fair after the incident, which began in the food court. A 22-year-old man fired a gun, resulting in 3 non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect was promptly apprehended by Dallas police shortly after the shooting and now faces 3 counts of aggravated assault. The suspect later told police he felt threatened, but the motive remains under investigation. Certainly a scary situation, especially considering that many UT students were just at the fair last weekend as part of their Texas OU weekend.
The U.S. House of Representatives remained without a speaker this morning after Ohio Republican Jim Jordan failed to receive enough votes to take the gavel yesterday. The congressman said he intended to remain on the ballot and would push for a second vote today, though it remains unclear if the 20 Republicans who voted against him yesterday could potentially flip. This all comes from after Florida Representative Matt Gaetz pushed out former Speaker Kevin McCarthy. This happened 2 weeks ago after he worked with Democrats on a spending bill. McCarthy still remains in the House. Vivek Ramsey, a Republican presidential candidate, spoke at the Hogg Memorial Auditorium last Thursday. The GOP candidate, who consistently polls second or third nationally, alleged that the U.S. was in a war between patriotic and unpatriotic Americans. He also spoke about democracy, unity, and American exceptionalism before opening for questions. Ramsey visited NBC News announces it will host the next Republican presidential primary debate on November 8th. The former President Donald Trump is not expected to attend.
Switching gears now, it was a big weekend in the live music capital of the world as the second and final weekend of the Austin City Limits Festival took over Zilker Park. So Jasmine, do you know anybody that went to ACL over the weekend? And kind of tell me about what you heard.
Some of my friends went, and I've just been having major FOMO looking at everyone's pictures. I've just been chilling, and I'm really sad that I didn't go, but I'm excited to get to see about how Paulina went and how Sophia had an awesome time. So,
no, absolutely. I know I saw that our very own Paulina Pearson, TSTV Sophia Kurz, and Logan Dubel, who was also part of Good Morning Longhorns, but he went on behalf of the Daily Texan. I kind of saw all their socials, and it was just incredible just to see kind of everything that goes into ACL and the big headliners. This was my first year not going, so it was definitely a big FOMO moment.
Let's take a look.
On to other news. Monday nights aren't usually the most exciting. A full schedule, tons of work, and deadlines hanging over me. A concert is the last place I would typically find myself. On Monday night, I joined our very own Paulina Pearson and headed to ACL Live at the Moody Theater for Kesha's The Only Love Tour, and were immediately transported to our middle school days. It was a night filled with nostalgia as Kesha performed throwbacks like TikTok, Your Love Is My Drug, and We Are Who We Are. Kesha also performed songs from her newest album, Gag Order, released earlier this year, which she opens up about her feelings after overcoming a decades-long legal battle with her ex-producer, Dr. Luke. It was an amazing concert that made us feel so many things. It was worth going to bed late on a Monday night. Jasmine, tell me, were you a big Kesha fan growing up?
Yes, I totally was. My favorite song when I was younger was definitely TikTok. I know that's kind of basic, but it was like my favorite. And yeah, I also have FOMO of you going. Today is National Chocolate Cupcake Day. This enchanting celebration invites us to savor the heavenly delight of small chocolate cakes every year. I don't know about you, Itza, but I'm definitely going to use this day as an excuse to head to Polka Dots Cupcake Factory after my classes.
I think that sounds like something I'm going to have to join you to.
Coming up, Priyal Tawar joins us with your updated weather forecast, plus a sports update on your Texas Longhorns volleyball and football teams. Stay tuned for more Good Morning Longhorns after the break.
Yeah, they had.
Welcome back to Good Morning Longhorns. Let's take a look at weather. Joining us in the set is Priyal Tawar. What's the weather looking like, Priyal?
Thank you, Jasmine. The fall breeze has been nice here in Austin. It's currently 51 degrees with a high of 85 and a low of 59 today. We will see a slight rise in temperature over the next few days, with Friday reaching a high of 95 and a low of 61. But thankfully, it cools down just a little over the weekend with highs of 93 and 90 with partly cloudy skies. Starting Monday, we'll see a slight drizzle leading up to a full week of an 58% chance of rain and slightly heavy winds, just in time for spooky season. Be sure to check your weather forecast for updates, but for now, I'm Priyal Talwar with the Weather Center. Back to you.
Thanks, Priyal. We'll see you guys after the break.
Welcome back to Good Morning Longhorns.
In sports news this past weekend, UT's volleyball team traveled to Houston to take on the Cougars. They were able to pull out wins on both days, moving them to be ranked 6th in the country. Hopefully, we can keep winning to pull out another national championship. In football news, the Horns had a bye week last weekend, giving them time to recover from their loss to the Sooners and to prepare for the game against U of H this weekend. Let's hope we can pull out a win against the Cougars like our volleyball team was able to do. That's all for sports this week.
With the North American Rivalry Tour over and anticipation of international presence growing, Taylor Swift has released the film Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. The concert film earned $92.8 million in domestic theaters, earning the spot for highest growing concert film to date. The 2-hour and 48-minute movie was filmed at Swift's last domestic dates at Sophie Stadium in Los Angeles and shows all but 5 songs from the live show. Swift's movie's premiere was star-studded with celebrities like Beyonce and Adam Sandler showing support. The movie will be in theaters until November 10th, and no streaming deals have been announced yet. Yeah, I'm sorry, you're planning on watching this Taylor Swift?
You know, I'll be honest, I might have a really hot take, but I've never been like a huge Swiftie, and so...
No way! Yeah, that is crazy to say online. Yeah. I plan on seeing it because I didn't get to go to the concert. I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest Swiftie, but I think I'm enough to go like see the movie for sure.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, support her, she's a great artist.
Yeah.
But personally, I don't know. Jada Pinkett Smith has released her new autobiographical tell-all book, Worthy. It addresses much of her relationship with husband Will Smith, including her thoughts on the infamous Oscar slap heard round the world. Jada also revealed that through Legally Married, she and Will have been separated for 7 years and were at the Oscars together not as husband and wife, but as a family. She did say the pair have tried to reconcile, discussing what she described as the unrealistic nature of finding another life partner. Jada discussed this relationship, also discussing much of her past in the book, including thoughts of self-harm she has struggled with since she was 20 and how therapy helped save her life. She shared much of this unexpected news with Hoda Kotb on Today.
Seeing that slap at the Oscars shook me, so I will definitely be checking out that book. How do you feel about the fact that they were like not together this whole time?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a little bit shocking just because Will's response to everything that happened, it kind of makes you wonder, like, why did he react so strongly when they weren't even together in the first place?
Exactly.
That's crazy. Are you ready to get into the groove? The Queen of Pop, Madonna, is back on stage as she embarks on her celebration tour celebrating 4 decades of her mesmerizing career. This Like is a Prayer singer is in the midst of a 6-night run. Madonna was supposed to kick off the tour earlier this year, but it was forced to reschedule many of her American dates after suffering a near-fatal bacteria infection in June. But the 65-year-old Like a Virgin hitmaker received rave reviews for her high energy and theatrical performance with endless costumes changes and a 28-song setlist of her greatest hits. You can catch Madonna here in Austin, where she takes over the Moody Center for 2 nights on April 14th and 15th. Tickets remain available.
So how do you feel about Madonna? Are you a huge...
I'm not a huge fan. Honestly, I really can't even remember that many songs from her. Do you have
Yeah, I feel like I listened to her growing up. Would definitely love to catch that. That would be definitely
if
something...
I get a free ticket, I'll for sure. Yeah.
Trash to Treasure hosted their first $1 thrift sale of the semester earlier this month. Our reporter Kimberly Andrade takes us inside the event and tells us how they're helping the campus community stay environmentally conscious.
Everything is cash only, $1. All proceeds go back to Trash to Treasure Student Club on campus. Thank you.
Every year, tons of clothes get thrown away, but Trash to Treasure, a student-led organization here on campus, is devoted to reducing the amount of textile waste produced by the UT community.
With Trash to Treasure today. We are hosting one of our thrift sales. We do this every semester. Everything we have here are actually clothing from a donation drive we did here on campus at the end of Move Out in spring. We're here to try to keep items from the landfill and really help to give them a second home, turning trash into treasure.
Not only is Trash to Treasure reducing the amount of textile waste produced by the UT community, but it is also an inspiration to students who want to work in the sustainability sector of the fashion industry.
Why I wanted to join this org was because I want to start a fashion brand for hijabis, and fashion has such a detrimental impact on on our planet and socially, so I wanted to do everything I can to help prevent that, and Trash to Treasure basically just holds the pillars of sustainability and fashion, and I just love doing what I do in terms of the fashion sustainability space.
Last semester, Trash to Treasure had over 100 volunteers, raised over $1,200 for the campus environmental center, and diverted over 3,000 pounds of textile waste from ending up in landfills.
If you couldn't make it to their first thrift sale, don't worry, because Trash to Treasure's second thrift sale will be on November 3rd. So mark your calendars, folks. And who knows, maybe I'll see you there. Until next time, I'm Kimberly Andrade with TSTV News.
Coming up, a look at what's happening around Austin this week. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Good Morning Longhorns after this. Welcome back to Good Morning Longhorns. In light of recent events, we want to remind you that it's important to prioritize your mental health. You can utilize UT Austin's Counseling and Mental Health Center if you are ever in a crisis or need counseling. The Longhorn Wellness Center also provides a program directory for several different mental health and wellness needs. Additionally, you can call the Suicide and Crisis Hotline at 988. Remember, you never have to be alone.
Finally, this morning on this week's edition of Around Austin, we have Boo at the Zoo. The event will occur every Friday and Saturday throughout the month of October. Feel free to show up in a fun costume, enjoy haunted houses, and see your favorite animals. Tickets are available for purchase at austinzoo.org if you're interested. As for other events, if you are a film buff, the Austin Under the Stars Film Festival is taking place this Saturday and Sunday and will showcase popular independent films. The festival is ranked in the top 100 best film festivals, so be sure to check it out if you're interested. Tickets are available for purchase now. Be sure to tune in next week to hear more events.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. For more Good Morning Longhorns throughout the week, you can follow us on Instagram at Good Morning Longhorns. I'm Itza Martinez.
And I'm Jasmine Palacios. Up next, we have weather.
Thank you, Jasmine. The fall breeze has been nice here in Austin. It's currently 51 degrees with a high of 85 and a low of 59 today. We will see a slight rise in temperature over the next few days, with Friday reaching a high of 95 and a low of 61. But thankfully, it cools down just a little over the weekend with highs of 93 and 90 with partly cloudy skies. Starting Monday, we'll see a slight drizzle leading up to a full week of a 58% chance of rain and slightly heavy wind, just in time for food season. Be sure to check your forecast and updates. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Good Morning Longhorns. I'm Priel Talwar from the Weather Center, and we'll see you guys next week.